Hey guys, this is Kevin with Watchhimtrade.com. Today's date is April 26, 2015. It's a Sunday. The market's closed, but I wanted to take this opportunity to show you guys how I set up my Tradestation platform. Get a lot of requests for people wanting to know how do I have all my screens set up and whatnot. I am trading with Tradestation. It is a broker and platform provider that only operates on a Windows operating system. So first of all, what you're seeing here is my my time and sales screen, and this is the screen that I set up to keep an eye on all my stocks at once. I follow the same 7 stocks every single day. I just find that's what makes me comfortable. That's what works for me. So the 7 stocks that I follow here are Tesla, Netflix, Amazon, Google, Priceline, Twitter, and Apple. I like having all these time and sales pulled up on one screen because it allows me to just take a quick glance right when the market opens and see, okay, what's really moving the best right out of the gate. All these stocks move with different speeds, different velocities, and by just quickly glancing over here for a minute or two, I can pick up right at 9:30 a.m. what's moving the best. Is Tesla moving the best? Is Google moving the best? Which one should I focus on? What's at a round support level? What's maybe approaching resistance? And I just like using this window to set up all of my trades and kind of give me a guide as to, okay, turn left, turn right, kind of like directions for the trades I should be making. Also, what I have on this window are then primary charts for each of these. So you can see at the bottom here, Tesla, Netflix, Amazon, Google, Priceline, Twitter, Apple. You'll see these workspaces is what they're called. And if I just switch to one, I've got my charts on Tesla. I've got a daily chart on top, a 3-minute chart in the left-hand corner, a 15-minute chart in the center bottom, and a 60-minute chart in the right-hand corner bottom side. And again, maybe here I see Tesla's moving nicely, so maybe I'll give a quick glance at the chart and confirm what I think I'm seeing on time and sales, and that brings Tesla into focus. And I just have each of these for my primaries. So I've got Netflix, same thing, daily, 3-minute, 15-minute, 60-minute, and I do this across the board with all of my plays. So that's this main window here. This is on the right-hand side. I've got 3 screens that I'm working with. This is the screen that's on the farthest right of my desk. So now I'm going to jump over to my middle screen, the one that is right in front of me, and show you guys what I use this for. So this is what I call my trade execution screen. This is where I'm actually putting in the orders. So the screen I just showed you where the time and sales, remember I'm using that to kind of say where I should look to trade. And then once I have an idea of something, maybe Tesla's moving out of the gate, then I'll come in and focus on Tesla. Or maybe Twitter's moving out of the gate, so I'll come in here to this middle screen and I'll focus on Twitter. And you can see here what I have is, number one, I've got my level 2 box. I trade level 2 a lot, so it's very important to me. So I have my level 2 window here. I have another time and sales window here just to kind of bring Twitter into focus. I have a 3-minute chart here to confirm what I'm seeing. And then on this left-hand side of the window, middle left, are the option strikes that I am trading. So for Twitter going into this week, I'm watching the 52 strike calls. You can see those on the left-hand side. And I've got a level 2 of the 50 strike puts. You can see these in the middle top here. And I pull up time and sales for each of these. I like having these so that I can see the order flow going through them. It's not just enough to see what the options are priced at. I want to see how liquid they are. Is there any orders that's catching my eyes? For instance, I see one right here. Somebody bought 138 Twitter puts, 50 strike puts, at $2.40. That's over $24,000 that they just bought on that trade. That's a good size order to be coming in the last 5 minutes of the day. So somebody's looking for some downside on Twitter. So at any rate, I set this up so that this is kind of my trade station. All right. And then if I'm entering an order, I do all of my order entry from this trade panel here. I've got my route, I've got my order type, my limit price, my quantity, all that stuff. What I also like about this window is my level 2 boxes display my positions. You can see here it says position and average price, open P&L, and closed P&L. So if I do enter a trade, I have it right in front of me. I'm not having to look over to another screen to see, okay, what's my trade doing? It's right in front of me. Boom, there's my average price, there's my position. I can keep track of how many do I have, can keep track, all right, how much am I making here, how much am I losing, and it helps kind of dictate what I want to do with that trade, in addition to everything I'm observing on level 2, time and sales, and the chart. And again, just like you saw on the time and sales window, I've got my 7 primary stocks here from left to right: Tesla, Netflix, Amazon, Google, Priceline, Apple, Twitter, and they all do the same thing. One final thing I want to point out on this page, you see these dollar signs here that are highlighted. That one is light green, this one is blue, and then there's another one over here that's light blue. These are important because these are called linking. This is kind of just your link boxes. And what this means is if I change the strike that I'm watching here, so right now I've got the $50 strike pulled up, but maybe I want to start watching the 51 strike. I type in 51, and it changes that box, and it also changes that bottom box because the light green is linked to the light green. Want to change from the 52 strike calls to the 50 strike calls, and it'll change that, and it'll also change the the bottom one as well. Maybe I want to change the stock I'm watching. You know, I watch the same 7 every day, but maybe for whatever reason I want to check up on SCTY. So I change that, and you'll notice my charts all change to SCTY. Oops. And my time and sales, well, it should have changed to SCTY. I don't know why it didn't work. Maybe because the market's closed. But I can assure you that it works properly when it's open, I promise. See, there it goes. Alright, so that's just something that's important. You should look into your platform. If you're using Tradestation, that's how you do it. If you have a different broker, different platform, most platforms should have this linking capability. It's not a big deal, but hey, it saves you 10-15 seconds. Instead of having to change every box manually, you just change one. And that 10-15 seconds could be the difference between getting in when you want and missing the entry. Alright, so this is the middle screen. Usually, like I said, I'll start out looking at the right-hand screen with my time and sales window, try and pinpoint which stock I like, which stock has the good speed, and then if it is Twitter, I'll then pull up Twitter here, or if it's Apple, I'll focus in on Apple. Lastly, my third screen, which is farthest left on my monitor, is where I keep track of futures and QQQ. So you can see here, right hand side, these are the S&P futures, level 2 box, time and sales box, and then QQQ I've got level 2 pulled up, and then I've got 2 charts here. I've got a 15-minute chart of the QQQ and a 15-minute chart of the S&P E-mini futures. Pretty simple there. You know, I keep a passive eye on this stuff. I just like being in tune with what futures and what the NASDAQ is doing, and these are, you know, this is all I do to do that. I don't trade the S&P, but obviously, and I don't trade the NASDAQ either, but obviously, you know, the names I'm trading are going to be affected by the overall trend in the stock market, like any stock will for the most part. So I think it's good to be in tune, have an eye on things over here. You know, maybe I see a big flush going on in futures, but yet my stocks are still holding up, so I get maybe a little cautious and think, all right, my stocks, maybe I should exit my positions here just in case they start getting hit by futures. Maybe futures start ripping higher and my stocks start ripping higher. Well, I know that they're kind of catching a bid across the market due to the strength in the overall futures market and whatnot. So it's just good to have an eye on these, I think, if you are going to be an active day trader like me. And then lastly, I've just got my overall portfolio. You can see it's empty here now. I don't hold any positions. Over the weekend, or overnight any. So, but up here is my orders. So if I place an order, you'll see it show up here. So if I just mess around and place a buy order here, you'll see it showed up. It got rejected because I tried to place a day order and the market's closed. But obviously if the market was open, it would fill. I'll see it show up here. And what I like about this is, I've got my all orders. I can go to filled orders. I could go to open orders. Before I ever shut my platform down, I always check open orders just to make sure that nothing's open that I don't want to be. So this is good. It's blank. And then down here, I've just got my position. So when I enter something, it would show up here. It would show you, my average price, my quantity, show you the latest bid and ask, all that stuff. And then I've got, my buying power and real-time balances over here. And then down here, I've just got a watch list for keeping track of other names, investments that I have in my IRA account, some stocks that I just know are kind of bellwether names, maybe Dow components like Caterpillar, a momentum name like Chipotle, macro names like Freeport McMoran, social leading name like a Facebook. Keep track of the banks here, keep track of the XLF and, those XL ETFs, all that stuff. Just kind of use that as a wide way to keep an eye on the market in general. So that is how I have my platform set up. Just another quick rundown here. Time and sales windows over here with my charts at the bottom to just click through. And then I've got where the trades actually happen, my level 2 boxes that I'm really keeping a close eye on if I'm in a trade or looking at getting in or out of a trade with all my main stocks, Tesla, Netflix, Amazon, Google, etc. And then lastly, my portfolio, my orders, and QQQ and futures. Again, this is 3 screens, and the one thing I'll say to that point, I used to trade from a laptop and used to always say, oh, I'll upgrade to multiple screens once I make more money and get it that way. And what I found out was I was just always saying, once I make more money, once I make more money. Well, you know what? I just decided to take the leap and buy a nice ass rig and get some good monitors and whatnot. And once I finally just did that, I started making more money, right? I made an investment in the equipment and it's paying off. I'm trading better. It's just impossible to trade effectively from one screen unless you just have the most efficient system down to a T. My trading, I think, elevated once I got multiple screens. So anybody out there that's watching this and you're thinking, oh, I only need my one screen, I don't want to spend $1,000 on new equipment, I seriously encourage you strongly to rethink that and make the investment, because if you're like me, you will find that over the next few months from purchasing the new equipment, it will pay itself off through your gains that you wouldn't have been able to attain had it not been for this new efficient system. I've got 3 screens, a nice efficient way of keeping track of everything. I really think it helps my trading. All right, thanks guys for watching. Hope this helped you with your platform. If you are interested in Tradestation specifically, email me, Kevin@Watchhimtrade.com. I can get you hooked up with a good deal there.